Hey, thanks for stopping by. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Radio? Isn't that like a dying media? It's a fair question, especially with all the new media these days. The answer is not a chance. In fact, radio is more powerful now than it's ever been. And I'm going to tell you the 3 reasons why in a second. But first, let's talk about you. I know you're here because you want to get your message out to the masses. And I want to let you know right up front, I can help you do that in a really big way. And I can help you do it for free without ever getting out of bed. Now, I realize that's a pretty big claim, but stick with me for the next 4 minutes. And not only am I going to show you how to do it, but I'm also going to give you the 3 things you need so you can get started right away, simply because I'd like to start building a relationship with you. So here's the backstory. I myself have personally been a guest on over 1,200 radio shows and sold 250,000 books as a direct result. Now those 1,200 radio interviews were free. They didn't cost me a dime. And I did 95% of them lying in bed, talking on the phone. I am telling you, you can do this. It is not hard, as you can see. So I promised you a minute ago I'd tell you the 3 reasons why radio is more powerful now than it's ever been. And here they are. Number 1, in America alone, there's over 125 million commuters driving back and forth to work every day. And the only media that reaches them is radio. Every other media is illegal when they're in their cars. Number 2, those commuters are a captive audience, stuck in a traffic jam for at least an hour a day. So when you're a guest on their favorite show, you own them, which is really important for you authors because it gives you time to actually tell them about your book. And number 3, and this is the most important part, these commuter radio listeners all have one very important thing in common. They all have jobs. I mean, they are driving back and forth to work, right? Which means they actually have money. And that's more than I can say for a lot of social media users. Now, I'm not saying you should ignore social media. I'm just saying that radio is where the real money's at. Look, I have over 10,000 clients, people just like you, in more than 30 countries around the world. You'll see some of their testimonials right here on my website. They're reaching millions, generating millions, building massive platforms, mailing lists, and best-selling books, and perhaps most importantly, they're changing the world without ever leaving home. And I'd like to help you do the same. So here's the 3 things you need to cash in on this radio goldmine. Number 1, you need a list of the big shows. They have all the listeners. The 80-20 rule applies to radio just like everything else. Don't waste your time on the little ones. Nobody's listening. You want to focus on the big shows. And if you enter your name and email in that little box up there and click submit, the autoresponder will send you a free list of the top 20 nationally syndicated radio shows in America and the names of all their producers and their contact info. Number 2, you need a great show pitch because that's what's going to get you booked on these shows. And again, when you enter your name and email up there, the autoresponder will begin sending you a series of completely dummy-proof. I'm talking fill-in-the-blank show pitch formulas to help you get booked on these shows as a guest. And number 3, you need to know what to do and say once you get booked so you get the biggest response from your interviews. And that's why you need my Radio Publicity Manual ebook. This is the 177-page, step-by-step blueprint to you staying home, laying in bed, and making a fortune while you reach millions with your message for free. It sells every day right here on my website for $50. But because this is your first time visiting my website, and because I'd like to start building a relationship with you and showing you how I can help you, today only, right now only, I'd like to give you my Radio Publicity Manual free for 30 days. There is no risk. You get to try before you buy. Now, it's only going to take you about 4 hours to read my manual. And if you're not absolutely blown away, if you don't think it's the most valuable resource you've ever read on any subject, just ping me a quick email and your card will never be charged. It's that simple. All you got to do is just click the blue button below and you'll have the ebook in about 60 seconds. I'll see you on the other side.